Hey, what's up? It's just me, Ethan, and my wife, Hila. We hit 50,000 subscribers. 300,000 subscribers, dude! We hit 1 million! We have hit 2 million subscribers. Our channel is doing
let me wash my hands and then what we
much better than it's ever done. We just honestly can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support you guys have always shown us. And since we started, it's been a continuous growth. We love our community and we're just so grateful for you guys. The point we're trying to make is that it feels wrong to be taking your guys' money now. Welcome. We're so happy that you're here and that you're giving us a chance watching our videos. And you know, God bless, man.
H3H3 has utterly lost his mind.
No sane person would ever want to have anything to do with you.
He's lost the plot.
Because you are so bitterly unattractive. You're obsessed with other people's masculinity.
Before we talk about how much I dislike Ethan now, I just want to say he used to be one of my favorite YouTube channels back in the day.
H3H3 has gone out of touch.
I'm a YouTuber with a flawless reputation.
Jeez, dude. How far are you removed from the YouTube community?
You might say everybody loves me.
Are you just gonna be one of those, well, I've made it now, so forget everybody else people?
You see, some people tell me I've changed, and frankly, I don't know what they're talking about.
Why do we have a natural inclination to hate the accumulation of wealth? Why has millionaire or billionaire or any other label relating to an individual's level of wealth become a negative connotation? Why, when a sponsorship comes up in a YouTube video, do we get that compelling feeling to click onto any other garbage that YouTube has spat into the recommended column on the right-hand side? Is it the fact that seeing someone with more wealth makes us feel like we've come up short in some way? Is it the fact that rich people are an easy target and putting them down seems to be somewhat of a dismissal for where we need to improve personally? Or is it simply the fact that deep down we know there's no shortcut to having wealth, therefore making it one of the only real indicators of an individual's ability to perform better than anyone else? Government policy, public protests, and more recently, YouTube videos, all of which following a similar toxic narrative. The hatred of those with the ability to accumulate wealth. Certainly an underlying motive for the content creator we'll look at today. H3H3 Productions, also known as Ethan and Ila, two long-time content creators who, despite once having a reputation as the greatest YouTube roasters of all time, have since descended.
I'm be honest, guys, it's getting old where you guys say says you at literally anything at all. It's like literally losing its fucking value.
Their status, often labelled by
you guys say
former
says
fans
you
as
at
being on the
literally
same level as
anything at all. It doesn't matter what it is, it just says you.
What could have caused such a shift in their reputation? Was it their change in demeanour from a chilled out couple to an angry, somewhat bitter pair of creators?
You are a vile slime of a human that nobody will ever want you because you're so pathetic.
Maybe you should calm down.
Was it the neglect of the channel that made them so famous in the first place?
We've pretty much disappeared the past 3 or 4 months.
Were they changed by the insane level of income that they were bringing in? Was it a political problem?
Thinking of Joe versus Trump kind of like is gonna give me anxiety.
I don't think
There
it
are
has really
so
anything
many
to do with
different
income,
elements
though.
worth analysing in this one, so I'd say it'll be an interesting story. Join me as we cover the downfall of almost everyone's at one point favourite YouTube couple, H3H3 Productions.
H is pretry good. Some of the early skits were pretty good. Guys,
Our story begins
people need to understand that, guys, there's YouTube metas here and there. There's a bunch of them, and some people can't adapt or don't want to adapt, and this is the end of them. Yeah, you could say, oh, it's because of this sponsorship, or this whatever, or this demeanor, or this. Yeah, you can pinpoint a bunch of things, but sometimes it's just because they just kind of fall off. They just become out of season.
Somewhat of an unconventional location compared to our other downfall videos. We normally begin in a town or a city or simply an apartment.
That's it.
But for this one, we actually begin in 2007 at a Jewish Holocaust museum located in Jerusalem, Israel. A place where an unknown Ethan Klein and Hila Hackman would meet for the first time.
And then I remember.
Guys, if you want to chat, guys, if you've seen or you've watched their videos in the past, give me one. If not, give me two. I want to see if you actually watch their shit. I used to watch them. Mostly once.
Museum was the first time we like
Caught eyes. Or like,
and,
what up?
Ethan, having come to Jerusalem from the United States, went home by himself shortly after meeting Hila. However, they continued to talk on Skype up until 2009, at which point Hila would come back and stay with Ethan in the US, also stating that they were like a team from the second she came to stay with Ethan.
And I think we were teamed up from that first minute. We were like teamed up. boy.
However, after living together for 1 year in the USA, Hila's visa expired, and she had to move back to Israel.
Her visa expired, we moved together to Israel.
Ethan, wanting to continue the relationship, decided to move with her to Israel and got a desk job in marketing and content management.
What was your desk job? What kind of job?
I was just a content manager.
However, after 5 years of slogging through the job, Ethan felt unsatisfied and wanted to pursue his true passion of comedy.
So 5 years working a job that I eventually wasn't satisfied. I want to do comedy, so let me do something about it.
Now, this happened to line up with Hila studying video art, who at the time was given an assignment to make a video about addiction, and she needed someone to be in the video, so Ethan volunteered.
We have to make
no.
a video for my art class about addiction. I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'll do this.
Ethan and Hila then created their first ever video for Hila's video art class in May 2011, titled Chocolate, attempting to abstractly display the concept of addiction. This first video was accompanied by the creation of the
Oh my god,
H3H3
hey
Productions
XQC,
YouTube
is that
channel on the
XQC?
30th
I
of
hecking
April
move you, man, but
2011,
stop with
which was
this cringe
created on the
non-pogger
very
reach and
first
shit
day
and
of
play a
video
hecking
art
game.
class.
We made the channel together. The first day, Hila had a video art class.
The name H3H3 is often translated as he with threes instead of e's. However, this isn't entirely accurate. The name actually came from the initials of both Ethan and Hila.
Because Hila's name is Hila Hackman, and my middle name is Edward, so it was Ethan Edwards. So just E-E-H-H, and we said, hey, he.
Oh. I just thought it was good. He, haha, like.
And that was that. As of May 2011, they are officially content creators for YouTube. Two oddballs in Israel with nothing standing in the way of becoming whoever they wanted to be. However, there was just one minor issue. An issue that almost 100% of content creators face when they first begin. Their videos sucked.
I mean, our early videos are so off the wall, dude. Like unwatchable. So I'm not surprised at all that nobody watched them.
Lack of video context, no real subject in most videos, incorrect settings.
What is that? Why is it in 4x3, Hila?
So,
I mean-
I had no idea what export means.
All factors ultimately leading to
I
no
mean,
one
nobody hits a home run on the first try.
watching their content. On top of this, their videos had no real target audience or niche, so viewers had no idea what to expect when watching a H3H3 video. However, here's what H3H3 did right. They had no expectation for views or getting famous or anything along those lines, really.
There was nothing at stake. There was no delusions of grandeur. There was no expectation at all.
Which is excellent, as when there's no expectation, it's not like you're going to give up straight away, considering you never expected to get anywhere anyway.
Guys,
By May
you
2013,
just don't,
2
though.
years after beginning to create content, H3H3 had achieved a grand total of 275 subscribers.
That's not
A
bad.
number that would have made many creators give up, but not Ethan and Hila. Their
That's
lack of
not bad,
expectation
though.
as well as their passion for making the videos ensured that their fuel tank was always sitting at full. And perhaps this unconditional love for
It's not bad at all. You have no clue what you're talking about, dude, if you think that's bad. The reality is that, guys, I always say this, the first few numbers, the first few hundreds is the hardest by a long shot.
creating videos
Once it takes off, your effort is rewarded by size. It's how curves work.
would
Like, it's
finally
not...
start to pay off after 2 years. As in May 2013, H3H3 would begin their first series that would go on to provide them with their first piece of proper success on the YouTube platform. On the 12th of May 2013, H3H3
Because you have more reach, so the margins increase every time, right? How many people are going to watch directly? How many people it'll reach? How many people will watch that? And people will stay. And these margins, they inflate like crazy, right? So that every video, when you start having a little bit of results, they go. You get it?
Productions would upload a video titled Warm It Up EXE, that's a 10.
That's a 10.
This video was somewhat similar to many of the other rising meme videos at the time, basically making a joke out of a serious video with ridiculous edits and bizarre sound design. This video, shown in a screenshot from December 2013, got a whopping 238,000 views in the first 6 months of being uploaded, taking H3H3's total
I remember that,
subscriber count from 275 to over
I've said that
1,000
before.
in October 2013, approximately 2.5 years after initially creating the channel.
Took us like 2 years to get, I think, 1,000 subscribers.
In case you didn't notice, we broke 1,000 subscribers. Wow, that's a lot of people, huh?
Then pretty much like any other content creator in the beginning, H3H3 Productions just kind of continued to do what worked previously. So the
They were already
H3H3
pretty
Productions
old.
channel began to upload a bunch of different EXE videos, kind of following a similar style to the one that blew up initially. This ultimately resulted in subscriber growth for the channel. However, by May 2014, Ethan and Hila would have never expected the level to which their channel was about to explode in popularity, all beginning with a single video titled How to Kiss H3H3 reaction video.
Oh no.
Guys, we got a special video on board here today. It's a tutorial about how to make out.
The H3H3 reaction series. The series or video type that would absolutely explode them into stardom. Now, while these days it seems like every YouTuber and their dog has done a reaction series at some point, back in early 2014, reaction videos were a completely unknown genre.
In the beginning, when we were making reaction videos, I don't know if we were the only ones doing it, but it seemed like at the time.
Yeah.
And it was like open range, it was open fields.
Recently, it seems as though reaction videos are mainly used as a filler for when content creators have nothing to talk about, but the original concept for H3H3's reaction videos was actually birthed out of Ethan's genuine outrage for how bad the videos were.
And everyone was circle jerking about how great this video was, and
Guys, who cares though? Guys, the reality is, who cares? It's good, and also sometimes it's more fun than playing some of the fucking whatever fucking game is coming out or whatever fucking thing is happening that's just boring as shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck saying it. Guys, you get people think that they're like, I got him, dude. We fucking got him, dude. React Andy, dude. Guys, look, guys. That's React Andy right there, guys. Got him. And I'm like, but I like it, and I think people like it too, man. So what do I care? I don't give a shit. Why would I? At the end of the day, why would I care?
I was like, this video is so stupid.
I enjoy doing
This
it.
first kissing video reaction performed so well that it led to another reaction.
Here today with another reaction video.
Then another reaction.
Here's the culprit. He's got a bandana, so he's a little bit metal, you know, he's a little bit edgy.
Eventually taking over as the main type of content on the channel. The audience loved the reaction videos.
Yes, is it? Technically, chat's reacting. No, yeah, but they're not making a video out of it though. So there's a difference.
Over-the-top, relentless barrage of genuine anger towards the stupidity in each video that he was reviewing.
Well, you know the show's gonna be good when you got when the man behind the curtain's name is Dick Wolf. And who could forget his accomplice, co-producer, Speed Weed. Can we get some Emmys for Dick Wolf and Speed Weed?
And the pool of different videos to react to was so ripe at the time. SoFlo Antonio, Prank Invasion, Ock TV. A time in YouTube's history when you didn't really have
the Ethan Bradbury.
to be a truthful individual to get views. However, as fake
E.T.
pranksters and disingenuous gurus rose in popularity, so did H3H3, being ready to call them out on their lack of authenticity whenever a video was posted. The H3H3 reaction videos caused Ethan and Ela to go from 5,000 subscribers in May 2014 to 50,000 only 5 months later in October 2014. However, this would only be the beginning. By October 2015, 1 year later, the couple was at 300,000 subscribers. Then 1 million only 5 months after that.
Chat.
You may have...
Guys, I want to do a little bit of stats with you, chat. Guys, let me explain something, okay, real fast, okay, before we go next, okay?
You
before
like
we continue.
reacting because it's easy content and easy paycheck. Anyway, here's $5, you bum.
How is it easy paycheck? I get paid fucking regardless, you dumb fucking bum shit fucking ass crab fuckwad. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You absolute degenerate fucking zero IQ cold take fucking moron shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you fucking high or some shit? What the fuck are you doing, man? What the fuck, dude, what is wrong with you? It's the same thing. Okay, hold up. Okay, listen. People think that an exposed video or a creator like H3 saying, "Oh, these guys are doing bad pranks." People think that, "Oh my dude, that's the end of their career." Okay, but the reality is, okay, if your ego isn't as high, isn't incredibly inflated, and you still have self-confidence left after the video comes out, okay, this is the people that watch you, okay, right here. Okay, this is the people that watch you, okay. And here's the amount of people that are gonna watch the video itself or some other video, right? Let's say it's that much, or sometimes it's a big creator doing the expose, right? So it's like that much, right? People think that takes away from you or whatever, right? Oh my god, dude, it's gonna yoink. People are gonna know that I'm doing. The reality is that these guys don't overlap. They don't. It's not a full overlap. The reality is that, let's say we're taking this as an example. It's these many people who are gonna watch that.
Nothing comes close to our time with the Book of Shadows and.
Hold up, I'll replay that. Okay, that. But if you think about it, it kind of goes like this. You understand? So here, this is your overlap, right? And this is your new people. You understand? You understand? Do you guys see it? So this in blue right here will be people that are new come in and say, "Oh wow, look at this guy. He's so fucking dumb. He's being exposed, whatever." And these are the people that already watch you, right? So if you think about it, this portion becomes like kind of like corrupted because they're like, they see to get roasted, whatever. But at the end of the day, this, you know what that is? This isn't your career ending. This is what we call free real estate. Literally, this is random people that would never watch your channel, never watch your content, never even come across you. They would never even have the idea of seeing your content pop out on their screen. And now, all of this is just free real estate. They watch your content, they see that, and some of these guys, they'll actually end up stacking, right, from that zone. And you know what they're gonna do? They actually might watch your videos and shit. So this becomes yours now. At the cost of having some of your core followers kind of like be kind of, this is kind of who gives a fuck though. And now you're coming out on top. Now you're really winning out of this. But the only reason why this doesn't work that much is that people see this happen on their channel and then they give up. It's like, oh dude, I got exposed or whatever, and then they get all self-conscious and shit, and then their content sucks. If they continue doing their content, they stay afloat, dude.
I've heard that we hit 1 million.
They stay afloat, literally.
H3H3 Productions had gone from 5,000 subscribers to 1 million in a space of only 22 short months.
The third.
So when I say being cancelled is impossible. If people make a big trend about me getting cancelled on Twitter, not only am I not gonna get cancelled, I'm gonna come out on top by a long shot, and I'm gonna win. So
year, I think by the end of the third year, we probably
Suck
had
it,
1 million
bitch ass.
subscribers.
Oh my
So between
God,
year 2 and year 3?
Am I wrong?
However, it wasn't all smooth sailing for Ethan and Ela. In around October 2016, just after hitting 2.5 million subscribers, very early signs began to show up here and there, hinting at an impending downfall for H3H3.
A lot of people have been complaining recently that our videos suck and that they hate us.
After 2.5 years of making H3H3 reaction videos, one thing was for certain. There wasn't nearly as much content to dunk on by late 2016.
More people started doing it, and the pool of stuff just starts running dry. There's not that much stuff that you can lampoon.
The pool was running dry. And I think this explanation is completely justified, if I'm honest. If you guys remember YouTube back in 2014 and 15,
Shit, now you're gonna
there was
have
so
to
much
make
content that you
content.
could roast. But by late 2016, early 2017, the cringe had almost completely disappeared and genuine, effortful content began to take center stage on the platform. Now, this was great for the YouTube platform, but as for the quality of H3H3's videos, this was a negative, because simply put, there was just less content to roast. Ethan and Ela had explained that on some occasions they would work all month to make 3 reaction videos, only to scrap them as they didn't think that they were good enough.
We made 3 reaction videos almost to completion, and we scraped all of them.
Finally,
Chat,
the H3...
can I be honest, chat? Guys, I like her as a you know, whatever. But I think she doesn't react. She's more like an introvert, I feel like, and she doesn't really add much or talk much or whatever. So I feel like sometimes some of the react is kind of like she kind of NPCs out a little bit.
H3 channel had grown to such a size where
offense.
it had potential to do serious damage to any content creator that was called out.
Since our channel started to get bigger, it's like the person you choose to talk about is
They're
have
gonna
a
get
hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Regardless, whatever we said, this was the bottom line. By late 2016, the circumstances for the video style that had made them so famous in the first place were beginning to change. Not exactly the greatest scenario for any content creator. However, things weren't all that bad. I stated to be the early sign of the downfall, but H3H3's long backlog of videos was still causing fairly tremendous subscriber growth for the channel. And as they say, sometimes when one door closes, another one opens. Because only 2 months after making this video explaining why the reaction videos were slowing down, Ethan and Ela would launch a new project for their YouTube channel.
How is that rude? I'm just saying, in the entertainment scale, he was pulling more weight than she would. In terms of the reaction, he would react more, and he would pull the reacting of content out of her or whatever. Normally what we want, in my opinion, is having a little bit of energy bounce, where you say something and it bounces off and whatnot, but I feel like most of the time, she wouldn't do it, say something, and then he would kind of like pull. Why do I care? I'm just saying, man.
That would increase their notoriety dramatically. A project providing the audience with the ability to learn extensively from individuals who previously had not shared their stories. And of course, a project that would go on to create levels of controversy that Ethan and Ela would have never been able to expect. We're of course talking about the H3 podcast. In the beginning, the podcast was awesome. The only other real big podcaster at the time was Joe Rogan, who would never interview YouTubers like Boogie2988 or Joey Salads, so the H3 podcast was there to fill that gap. We finally had that opportunity to get an insight into the mindset of some of YouTube's greats in long-form format. The podcast, as well as H3's extensive backlog of legendary reaction videos, caused the channel to grow by around 300,000 subscribers per month in late 2016. But while their notoriety was skyrocketing, it would ironically be the same time that their reputation began to decline rapidly. As the popularity of the podcast increased, one thing was noticed by the fans of H3H3 Productions. The content on the main channel was beginning to be neglected. H3H3 Productions went from one video per week to around 1 or 2 per month, with the H3 podcast taking its place by pumping out regular episodes. Now, in a low-resolution context, this wasn't such a bad thing. H3 was still uploading videos, just on a different channel. However, the reality of how the audience felt at the time was something more like, we can see that you're neglecting
How am I an H3 apologist? I literally said nothing yet about them.
thought out, selfless content.
The only thing I said about H3 is that she is not a good React Andy.
On the main channel for high-earning, low-entertainment content on the podcast channel. This kind of mind frame caused fans to begin losing respect for Ethan and Ela.
Oh God, it's like I've seen this comment like 1,000 times since we started doing the podcast regularly. Is that I've lost all respect for you.
Ethan claimed to think that people were losing respect for him due to making minor research errors in the podcast.
Some of your research wasn't performed at the best it could. I've lost all respect for you. Yeah, I'm triggered, so what?
However, I think the underlying reality was that people began to lose respect for the fact that he had chosen the podcast, a low-effort, high-income video type over his former high-effort, low-income reactionary video type. From that point onwards, it was obvious that his audience slowly turning against him began to have somewhat of an impact on Ethan. Ethan began to seem more angry, sensitive, and serious.
Yeah,
somewhat of
I'm not being honest with you. This is the kind of like whatever. I guess I feel like YouTube is so like not reactive. Like I feel like when you're making a video, make the video. Comments come afterwards. You do something, things come in afterwards, right? But it can still be in the shadows and do shit without having the constant dog shit. On Twitch, it's the completely different mindset, dude. Dude, you're doing something as a chest being a fucking bunch of fuckheads! Now look. I'm not too pausing, I'm projecting the June, you're breaking the oh, there's some sense as you lol, you're so dumb, the whole time, the whole fucking time, dude.
A depressing fact considering that Ethan had always been known as the most carefree dude on the platform. This element was then somewhat cemented when H3H3 Productions would upload a video in January 2018 titled Where Have We Been? This video addressed Ethan and Ela's lack of content on the main channel.
It's pretty obvious that we've ghosted out on YouTube. We've pretty much disappeared the past 3 or 4 months. We post like occasionally.
But most importantly, the decline of Ethan's emotional state as observed by the fans.
Towards the end of last year, started to realize like I had become a worse person. All of a sudden I was like grouchier, more arrogant, more cynical.
Ethan and Ela then signed off the video by stating that they wanted to get back to the place they were previously by uploading more regularly on H3H3 Productions.
I want to come back to our community that I love and have fun. I just want to have fun again.
And they honoured this statement by spending 6 months uploading somewhat regularly to the channel. But included in these somewhat regular uploads was a video that would be somewhat of an indicator about the change in their YouTube mind frame.
So this person wrote H3H3 is transphobic 8 times in response to my tweet, and it has 300 retweets and 1,000 likes.
In April 2018, 4 months
Wait, what? Is that a ball? Huh? Guys, I'm not gonna be an H3 apologist. I don't really understand that though. What is that? How does that correlate? How does that correlate? I don't really get it. How does it?
Retweets and 1,000.
Oh, okay. I mean.
Likes.
In April 2018, 4 months after apologizing for not uploading, H3H3 Productions then uploaded a video titled I'm sorry if you were offended. In this video, Ethan addressed a Twitter situation involving many people calling him transphobic for making a minor joke about being Ellen.
Underneath,
I said, my name is Ellen. I'm changing my name from Ethan to Ellen.
Now, while respectably Ethan didn't apologize for what he said,
my intention wasn't to be offensive, so can you just accept it on that face value? If you're looking for an apology, you're not gonna get it.
It was still somewhat obvious in his body language that people calling him out was having somewhat of an effect on him. Now, this was just kind of depressing for the former fans of his. Ethan had literally gained notoriety for being able to make a joke out of these kinds of people.
That's deplorable and should not be allowed anywhere. Like, they should be banned.
He literally grew his audience through demolishing people like idiotic social justice warriors and the easily offended transgender community. The Ethan Klein from 2 years previously would have likely made a video memeing the offended tweeters, while the present Ethan was sitting in front of a camera defending himself for what he said on Twitter. This was all alongside
Humongous what?
another Twitter incident where Ethan was once again justifying himself for tweeting out something to do with someone getting cancelled, both being changes that clearly represented the adjustment in Ethan's way of thinking. And it wasn't only the fans noticing this adjustment in thinking, so did other YouTubers, with Diesel Patches.
This is what I always get. I'm not kidding, guys. I've seen this, guys, every day, guys. How many people do I showcase on chat, in chat? They do this shit. Didn't you do this? Didn't you do that? Didn't you? Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. What the fuck is not? Guys, didn't I cover that like fucking like on Twitter like 5-10 days ago or some shit?
Uploading a video 3 months after Ethan's apology video.
How many times do you have to be shown the truth and show what happens? How many times do you have to go over the same thing for you to be? Listen, the reality is, okay, if new action and new stuff and improvement doesn't make you happy, nothing will make you happy. You wanna know why? Because you're I just feel like you're kind of a sad person. I feel like if you're mad about something, an apology, change, development, and people becoming better person threatens you, it's probably because you're somebody who doesn't get better. I feel like people feel threatened by change of others because they themselves don't see themselves as somebody who can change and can get better. They become sort of angry, jealous of others who are actually getting better, and they deny its existence. That's weird. You're sad, man. You're sad, man. It's a sad thing.
Basically saying what everyone was thinking at the time.
2015 was probably his golden age. But now Ethan is a shadow of his former self.
This was accompanied by another video at a later date by YouTuber Christopher Tom, who highlighted somewhat of a point to do with Ethan's priority of money over video quality.
After 3 months of not posting to the main channel, they came back with an ad for a freemium game that had microtransactions.
After 3 months of not uploading, H3H3 released a 2-minute video which was nothing besides an advertisement for their new mobile app. Now, while the audience didn't mind the fact that they made a mobile game, the classic H3 audience had waited 3 months for a new upload only to have an advertisement thrown in their face. Somewhat of an abstract display that...
Didn't you call a woman fat in that VR game? Yeah, because it was fucking fat. What about it? The fucking avatar was a fat person, and I called it fat. While I was in also my own character, I got another character. So what? Yeah, and I would do it again. I would do it again. What are you, a fucking joke judge, motherfucker?
And Ela saw no reason for the H3H3 channel besides for advertising. These various actions caused the subscriber count on H3H3 Productions to stagnate by December 2019. An interesting discovery considering they were still getting 10 million views per month without gaining any...
Okay, guys, you want to know the truth about that event? It's a good story. Okay, I said it before, guys. Guys. I got an official Twitch warning, okay, about that. Okay, and I'm not trying to be BZ or look like I'm cool or like cool as shit, okay? But I just went like against it. I didn't apologize or say, "Oh my God, no, this." I remember talking to Twitch staff, and I was like, "No, this is not a problem. This doesn't showcase something that will be a problem, and this isn't something that is gonna get bad or worse. This is a non-issue. I won't apologize for a non-issue. Okay, it is not a problem." And it's not going anywhere. So that's it. End of story. Okay? They want to ban me for it. That will not make me look bad. It'll make them look bad. So okay, if you want to ban me for this, go ahead. Good. That makes them look bad. Oh my God. He called a big character big. Oh my God. No, we can't do none of that. We can't do that. What the fuck is that? What as a platform do you look like if that's what the people you ban or the things? That's just fucking stupid as shit.
Subscribers, which leads us into the madness of 2000.
Oh, sorry, I didn't say big, I said fat. Okay, I called a fat character fat. Oh my! Ah! Holy shit!
somewhat of an
Are you fucking
extraordinarily
stupid or some shit?
controversial year for Ethan and Eli. In April 2020, H3H3 was called out by some ordinary gamers, basically for the fact that Ethan apparently said it was selfish for Jeff Bezos to only donate $100 million to the pandemic, despite the fact that Ethan was extremely rich himself and had not donated anything.
What happened? Wait, he said what?
In April 2020, H3H3 was called out by some ordinary gamers, basically for the fact that Ethan apparently said it was selfish for Jeff Bezos to only donate $100 million to the pandemic, despite the fact that Ethan was extremely rich himself and had not donated anything.
This is an individual that shits on other people's for how little they donate, while also doing the exact same themselves.
Ethan later debunked the claim, showing that Mudaha from some ordinary gamers was incorrect.
And I said, yo, these happened 15 days before Jeff Bezos ever donated, so obviously it would be temporarily impossible for me to have donation shamed him.
However, possibly one of the biggest mistakes Ethan made in this video was displaying his level of wealth to the YouTube audience.
You may have noticed our beautiful LA mansion, and no, it's not a set. It's really where we live.
Now, while the intro was clearly somewhat of a meme, it was still an honest representation of how much money he had. And while the money itself was somewhat enviable, the bigger question was, why does every H3H3 reaction video now have to have sponsors and ads in it if they have so much money? Now, this is somewhat of a stupid assumption, honestly. Everyone knows that deep down, no matter how much money you have, you'll always want more. But it was like, why not just leave the podcast, which was clearly making insane amounts of money, as the main cash cow, while leaving H3H3 Productions as an unsponsored channel for the sake of the art? Regardless, publicly displaying their level of wealth seemed to be somewhat of a long-term negative for the goodwill of Ethan and Eli. Then, following this whole fiasco, the notorious beef between H3H3 and Keemstar would begin, initially on Twitter, then transitioning over to YouTube after H3H3 Productions would upload the video titled Content Nuke Keemstar, basically highlighting all the awful things done by Keemstar throughout his career, somewhat of a sequel to iDubbbz's Keemstar Content Cop posted 4 years previously. Keemstar then returned the video doing a similar thing, and the rest played out like pretty much any other YouTube beef. The most interesting part about this whole thing now that it's over is the subscriber count of each individual. As soon as the video was released by H3H3, Keemstar lost 110,000 subscribers, but since has called back to having more subscribers than he had before it was released. Which is barely any surprise really, he's literally the unnukable YouTube cockroach. Meanwhile, if we look at H3H3's graph, almost the opposite happened. H3H3 gained 30,000 subscribers off the bat, but has since lost 100,000 since posting the video, possibly signaling at the current state of the H3 reputation. So, like all of these downfall videos, we'll end by asking the golden question. What caused the downfall of H3H3 Productions? Well, I think we could probably all agree. The real reason that H3H3's reputation has had such a tremendous downfall has basically been Ethan's transition from a carefree, no apologies type guy whose sole goal was to expose and roast the idiots that we all hate, like SJWs and fake.
Guys, if you put it like this, it's not, I don't think it's a fair comparison, because the internet also evolved into the state of like, please apologize for everything at the same time. So it's like, yeah, guys, I'm not even backing them up. I don't give a shit about H3. Fuck H3. But still, I think the internet evolved. The internet changed, and they also changed, but yes.
Pranksters to a guy who clearly has a deep concern for his own reputation, now somewhat controlled by the very individuals he used to roast by having to apologize for any minor incorrect behavior. At the end of the day, who cares about the money? Who cares how rich he is? Who cares how many sponsorships he puts in his videos? If you dislike him for that, I think that's kind of pathetic and shallow. But what I do think is justified is not liking him for how much he cares about his own reputation. What happened to the Ethan that literally could not care less about what anybody had to say about him? What happened to the Ethan that would just laugh it off when anyone called him a transphobe? What happened to the Ethan who was just on YouTube to have a good time? The whole aspect of H3H3's financial status is not a negative thing in itself, but having to show it on his channel somewhat highlights the insecure person that he's transitioned into.
I don't agree with that very much.
And that's what people have come to hate. The insecurity, not the financial stability. But at the same time, it's so hard to sit here and say that it's all negative. How much good information and life advice from creators has been provided through the H3 podcast? How much free entertainment has been uploaded by Ethan and Eli over their 9 years on YouTube? I would genuinely credit H3H3 with transform.
Well, in my opinion, if you do something that is objectively not transphobe or homophobe, and people want to twist in shit, yes, that's what I do. I just make fun of it. I make fun of it. I make fun of how stupid they look because they're creating more damage. They're doing more harm than good. It's just fucking stupid. If I make a mistake, okay, and it's dumb, I want to be better. Yeah, I'll apologize. If I do something that you twist, that's your problem. How's that? I don't give a shit. How's that my problem?
A genuine place. If you did fake pranks back in the day
your problem.
or were untruthful in any way, there was always that chance of being called out by H3H3 Productions. Maybe H3H3 and Keemstar are more like each other than they realise, both being somewhat of an abstract mediator for scumbag behaviour on the platform. And I'd argue that over the long run, Ethan and Ela have provided infinitely more positive than they have negative. But as highlighted in this video, there's certainly still room for improvement.
Interesting. Sometimes this channel kind of like nitpicks stuff around a little bit, right? You know, remember a little bit like when you guys remember whenever we watch a video about Myth? How did Myth? What was the downfall of Myth? On August 22nd, okay, Myth did a sponsorship for Rainbow Six. This was the end of all Myth. The downfall that would cause him to disappear from fame. And it's like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you, man? People will just not watch for like 4 hours and then come back later. What the fuck is it talking? What the fuck are you talking about, man?